Welcome to Lesson 7, where we'll be learning all about the health benefits of fruits and how to easily incorporate them into everyday meals. In this lesson, we will start by reviewing the objectives, and then we'll cover the nutrition and culinary lessons related to fruit. And then you'll complete a knowledge check to ensure learning goals are being met. You'll then be able to watch the cooking demos that will bring to life what you've learned in this lesson into your kitchen. We'll then wrap up this lesson by setting some goals. Here are the objectives for Lesson 7. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to demonstrate knowledge of a variety of fruits and the impact on health. Use different cooking techniques to prepare a variety of fruits. Apply knowledge of nutrient compositions to fruit selection. Apply various cooking techniques to the preparation of fruits. And use fruits in a variety of recipes. I do love this quote from Ben Franklin, and yes, there was a study to confirm this. Unfortunately, it has yet to be proven. Let us first review the different major categories of fruits. Palm, which includes fruits with a core, such as apples, pears, and quince. Tropical fruits, which are grown in warm climates such as papaya, bananas, mango, pineapple, star fruit, dragon fruit, and many more. Stone fruit, which includes fruit that has one large pit or stone in the center, such as plums, peaches, nectarines, cherries, and apricots. Then, of course, we have berries, which botanically are tricky since common fruit we think of as berries botanically are not. However, for the purposes of this lesson, we will be defining berries as strawberries, blueberries, and blackberries, as well as kiwi, which botanically actually is a berry. Next, we go on to citrus, which includes fruit with a tangy pulp on the inside and thick rind or zest on the outside. This includes oranges, grapefruit, lemon, lime, so on and so on. Melons include fruits such as watermelon, cantaloupe, and honeydew. These fruits are actually related to the gourd family and have a thick outer rind with a sweet flesh on the inside and many seeds. Lastly, there are certain vegetables that botanically are actually a fruit. These include tomatoes, cucumbers, zucchinis, avocados, and several others. But in this course, we will be referring to those as vegetables because of their nutrient profiles. Why is there a difference between the botanical definition of fruit and the culinary definition? So botanically, a fruit develops from the flower of a plant and contains seeds. However, in the culinary world, fruit is known to have a sweeter flavor profile, while vegetables are more savory. This is why some fruits are culinarily considered vegetables, even if they're botanically a fruit. Now, we'll get into some of the major health benefits of fruits, including fruit as a source of fiber, phytochemicals, and water for hydration, as well as anti-inflammatory properties. Fruit contains a mix of soluble and insoluble fiber. Soluble fiber helps lower blood glucose and transport excess hormones and toxins out of the body. Insoluble fiber helps move through the digestive tract and promotes regularity. Generally, most of the soluble fiber is found in the flesh on the inside of the fruit, while most of the insoluble fiber is in the peel or the skin of the fruit. Some fruits that contain many seeds, such as fruit in the berry category, as well as many fibrous tropical fruits, contain a high amount of insoluble fiber inside the fruit as well. Fruit is also a source of antioxidants through the variety of phytochemicals it contains. As a reminder, phytochemicals are the compounds found only in plants that act as antioxidants, protecting the body from free radicals which do damage in our cells. Fruits that are particularly high in phytochemicals include pomegranate, grapes, cherries, blackberries, raspberries, and blueberries. While all fruit has some amount of phytochemicals, a general rule of thumb is that the fruits with the deepest, darkest pigments will have the highest concentration of phytochemicals. All plants contain carbohydrates, protein, and fat, but fruits are mostly made up of carbohydrates. Some botanical fruits, such as avocados and olives, as well as coconut, are also rich in fat, but all fruits are low in protein. Now we are just going to address the association between fruit and glycemic index. As a source of carbohydrates, fruit does have an impact on blood sugars, especially when eaten by itself without any protein, fat, or extra source of fiber. When assessing the impact on blood sugar, there are some fruits that are lower in natural sugar and higher in fiber and have less of an impact on blood sugar. These include berries, oranges, grapefruits, apples, pears, kiwi, and pomegranate. Ripeness also has an effect on blood sugar control. A green or unripe banana will have a lower glycemic index than a fully ripe or overripe sweet banana. Let's take a look at the glycemic index in a ripening banana. But all this being said, fruit is a nutrient-dense food that is important to include in your diet. For this reason, we recommend eating fruit with some additional fat, protein, and fiber, such as plain Greek yogurt or some nuts and seeds. This greatly reduces the effect the fruit has on blood sugar. No reason to avoid bananas or any fruit for that matter. Incorporating fruit with meals provides opportunities for nutrient synergies again. Adding a vitamin C-rich fruit such as raspberries or citrus to a meal with foods high in iron can help the body better absorb the iron. Certain fruits such as mango, watermelon, papaya, cantaloupe, and kiwi, to name a few, contain some fat-soluble vitamins. Pair these with some fat to improve the absorption of those nutrients and those vitamins. Nice pairings include yogurt, make sure it's non-fat, nuts or seeds, granola, and maybe ricotta cheese. Let's talk about some of the most nutrient-dense fruits, which means they pack the most nutrients, including vitamins, minerals, and phytochemicals, as well as fiber in the lowest amount of calories. Pomegranate seeds provide fiber, vitamin C, vitamin K, potassium, and the flavonoid group anthocyanins, which give it the deep red color. Avocados contain healthy monounsaturated fats, fiber, potassium, vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin K, and B vitamins, as well as some carotenoids. Citrus is an excellent source of vitamin C, soluble fiber, potassium, magnesium, calcium, and the zest contains flavonoids that are recognized for their support in heart health. Kiwi is an excellent source of vitamin C, as well as potassium and fiber. Lastly, berries contain a lot of fiber, vitamin C, potassium, and a number of antioxidant-rich pigments. This brings us to the end of our nutrition lesson, and now we'll begin our culinary lesson. So let's get cooking. While fruit can be a snack on its own, it can also be incorporated into cooking. A mix of both raw and cooked fruit can add sweetness or tartness, texture, brightness, counterbalance of flavors, and reduce excess calories by decreasing the need for added sugar in baking. Now we're going to take a look at another way to enjoy a whole fruit through poaching. Please note in this recipe, it is demoed with a cashew butter, and you can certainly substitute any kind of nut butter that you prefer. And it's also using coconut milk. There's no need to go out and get coconut milk. Any kind of milk you have in your refrigerator will do. To minimize waste and get the most nutritional value and flavor out of fruit, use the whole fruit. The rind can be grated, called zest, and added as a finishing touch to a salad, dip, pasta or grain salad, or dressing or baked good. Zest gives citrus flavor without the acidity of the juice and pulp. The juice can be used in marinades, salad dressings, sauces, smoothies, and as a beverage. Citrus segments, which describes the pieces of citrus fruit without any skin or white pith, can add pops of brightness to a dish with a natural combination of sweet and sour flavor. Now let's look at how to properly segment citrus. Fruit is commonly associated with sweet foods, but fruit can also be paired with many savory ingredients. Here are some suggestions for flavor pairings as you start to incorporate fruit into savory meals. Fresh herbs. Combining fruit with rosemary, thyme, basil, mint, tarragon are all fun choices. Now let's look at the aromatics that will go well with fruit. These include ginger, shallot, sweet onion, mustard seeds, and chili pepper. Spices such as black pepper, cinnamon, cardamom, turmeric, nutmeg, allspice, cloves, and star anise all flavor fruit really, really well. And what about vinegars? Balsamic, white balsamic, and apple cider vinegar. Cheese, ricotta cheese, goat cheese, brie, and hard cheeses. Nuts and seeds. Nuts and seeds go really well with apples, pears, stone fruit, and dried fruit. You can also cook whole fruit to bring out its sweetness. Cooking methods that are great for fruits include roasted grapes and peaches, grilled peaches and pineapples, baked apples, poached pears, and pickled mango. If you need some more ways to incorporate fruit into everyday meals, look no further. Fruit can be used in salads, salad dressings, grain bowls, salsas, and chutneys, baked goods, yogurt parfaits, smoothies, and even roasted along with vegetables and protein for some added sweetness. An example of this would be roasted Brussels sprouts with apples and thyme. Roasted grapes are also delicious to experiment with. Dried fruit also has its health benefits. It is sweeter because of the lower water content and concentration of natural sugar, so that a little goes a long way. Dried fruit can be a good way to add natural sweetness. Dried fruit can be soaked in warm liquid and rehydrated so they become plump and juicy again. Try raisins soaked in a warm tea such as Earl Grey and add them to a grain salad. Dried fruit can be cooked along with fresh fruit and some herbs and spices to make a compote or chutney or a quick jam. Dried fruit can be mixed with nuts and seeds for a trail mix that can be eaten as a snack or added as a crunchy topping to a salad. Dried fruit such as currants and raisins can be added to a warm stew or rice, especially ones with lots of spices, to add more balance in the flavor. And certain dried fruits such as dates and prunes can be blended into a puree and used as a substitute for sugar. And lastly, a more commonly used way for dried fruit is to add it to baked goods. Now let's review freeze-dried fruit. Freeze-dried fruit is shelf-stable fruit that has undergone a process which removes nearly all of its moisture, but it still retains a lot of flavor and nutrients. It's very light and has a dry, crispy, crunchy texture and a really concentrated, intense fruit flavor. Freeze-dried fruit can be enjoyed simply on its own as a crunchy snack or ground in a powder, which can be a really creative way of coating something and making it look really beautiful in color, and also have that intense fruit flavor. It can be added to cereal or yogurt, where it then rehydrates a little with that added moisture, or it can be folded into a batter, such as making pancakes or muffins. This is a really fun way for kids to enjoy fruits as well because it gives a really fun flavor and has a fun texture, and it can be used in a lot of creative ways. Canned fruit is another pantry staple that can be incorporated into many recipes. Applesauce can be used in baking goods as a natural sweetener or added ingredient substitute. For example, applesauce is often a recommendation in baked goods to add moisture in place of eggs or a third or a half of the oil that the recipe calls for can be substituted with applesauce. It can also be paired with savory dishes, such as the classic combination of potato lattes and applesauce. Canned pineapple can be used in baking, in a grain salad, smoothie, or roasted with a protein, such as pork, for a sweet and sour glaze. Canned fruit is ideal for making a fruit-based salsa because the extra liquid from the can and soft texture of the fruit lends itself well to being incorporated into a salsa. Canned peaches and pineapples are good options here. Canned peaches can also be used to make a quick, simple snack, often enjoyed with cottage cheese, in baked goods, added to a smoothie, blended into a salad dressing, or pureed with ginger and served with a topping for whole grain pancakes or waffles. Lastly, frozen fruit is a staple always good to have on hand. Fruits are picked and flash frozen at peak ripeness, so frozen fruit is an excellent way to enjoy your favorite out-of-season fruits all year round. Frozen fruit can be used in smoothies, smoothie bowls, baked goods, or pancakes, overnight oats, yogurt bowl, or parfaits, or blended into a fruit dessert similar to ice cream known as nice cream. Some fruits that lend themselves especially well to freezing are berries, cherries, bananas, mangoes, and peaches. Now let's take a look at some creative ways to use frozen fruit. Different fruit needs to be stored in different places for ideal flavor and shelf life. Fruits that should be refrigerated as soon as you bring them into your kitchen include apples, blueberries, raspberries, any kind of berries, cherries, grapes, lemons, oranges, pomegranate, and grapefruit. Those that can be left out at room temperature include avocados, apricots, bananas, kiwis, mangoes, melons, peaches, pears, pineapples, and plums. Note that once these are ripened, most fruits should be placed in the refrigerator to extend their shelf life. The exception would be bananas. Once these are ripened, they should be eaten, or you should peel them and freeze them. Lastly, if storing fruits out of the fridge to ripen, many fruits have a natural gas called ethylene that is released as it ripens. These include apples, apricots, avocados, melons, pears, mangoes, plantains, and tomatoes, to name the common ones. When ethylene is released, it can cause other fruits and vegetables next to them to over-ripen. To prevent this, store the ethylene-rich fruits by themselves to reduce their impact on other fruits and vegetables placed next to them. But if you want to speed up the ripening, place them together. As we near the end of this lesson, let's review what we've learned. You will be asked to answer these questions in the following knowledge check. What health-promoting compounds are represented by different colors of fruit? Those are the phytochemicals. What are 2 fruits you can keep in your freezer? Any of these that you mentioned, like berries, bananas, mangoes, peaches, cherries. What is the one fruit that is an exceptionally nutrient-dense food. What is one of those fruits? Sorry. Answers here could be the pomegranate, avocados, kiwis, citrus, or berries. And what are two fruits you can squeeze and zest to increase acid and flavor in recipes? Orange and lemons. Awesome. Once you've completed your knowledge check, take a look at all the resources available to you to bring all this information together. These resources will help you in bringing to life what you've learned in this lesson in your own kitchen. Resources include the cooking videos, recipes, handouts, and your community chat. Once you've completed your knowledge check and reviewed all of the resources, it's time to set some SMART goals. SMART goals are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. An example of a SMART goal for this lesson might be, I'm going to use a fruit in a savory dish this week, or I'm going to try a new fruit this week. That brings us to the end of lesson 7. Let's get cooking.